Hi there, and welcome to the Costa Mesa Pod, where we discuss all things concerning the lifestyle, businesses, and activities that make Costa Mesa such a great place to live. Today I am interviewing Brynn. She is with Starlight Theater OC and runs a Black Box Theater here in Costa Mesa.
Well, I'm Brynn Wagner, and I have um, been a part of theater all of my life. I've been singing since I was a little girl with siblings who taught me how to sing harmony and everything. And that helped lead me into this. They also were in theater, so I looked up to them when I was young and see them perform. So then that just was an automatic in for me to start doing theater from a very young age. And so this opportunity came about because this theater was around for a really long time. It was called Starlight Theater, owned by someone else. And I worked for that person for a long time. And then circumstances just led to me getting to take over. And I added the OC. So that would be my own theater for Orange County.
Nice.
And yeah, so exciting. And I have been the owner for 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yes.
And so can you tell everybody a little bit about Starlight Theater OC and what you do here and how people can find out more about you?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, well, we're a very unique theater. We're small, little black box theater, and we can seat about, we can cram in about 90 people. We do our rehearsals here, and we perform here. And I offer adult cast, teen cast, and kid teen cast for junior Broadway musicals that we do 4 times a year. And so that is a very interesting, hectic, crazy, fun, wild adventure. And I have recently, so we're doing Willy Wonka right now, and
And you said that'll be going through the end of March.
that'll be going through the end of March. And I have 9 casts, 150 enrolled in all of those casts, and 24 shows. So that is a really unique thing that we do here because of the fact that I have so many casts. Usually theaters and bigger theaters, small theaters, they just focus on like one cast, a lot of ensemble in the cast, and maybe 2 casts. Well, I do several. So that is unique to us. I offer, a program where it's very family oriented and community. It's small and intimate, and people make a lot of lasting friendships here and make a lot of really wonderful memories. And I mean, some families have been here 5 years, and they've just spent their kids have grown up here.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
that's so cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So how long has Starlight Theater, since before you came around? Do you know how long it's been?
Yeah, I think it's been I don't have the exact year, but I think it's about 20 years, maybe a little over. Yeah.
So that's a while. So part of Costa Mesa culture and history and everything.
Yes, it used to be on Victoria.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and ironically, this used to be the House of Humor for like 40 years that sold costumes and makeup and stuff
for like Halloween, but all year round, basically.
Yeah, we're in a strip mall, but we have awesome landlords, and it's very hard, as you know, as a realtor. It's hard to find a place that's reasonable for rent and everything. So when we found this place, we're very fortunate, and we've probably maybe outgrown it a bit, and I wish we could find another place. But we're just doing what we can do here while we're here.
Yeah. Well, you do have a great location. And so especially if you attract people coming in from other areas, we're close to the freeway, so people can find you pretty easily.
Yeah.
Is good parking in the area.
True. We have a parking lot in the back. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about the productions, like your schedule. Because you said you guys do 4 productions a year and you've got multiple different casts.
Yes.
What is the turn time on pre-production to basically being on stage?
So I audition, and then I cast the next week. Then we do a read-through, that following week. And the cast list is posted on the door, and everybody's so excited. And most of the time, it's great reactions. Sometimes somebody's disappointed, but these are life lessons, and I help them with that. So we start rehearsals, and in about 9 weeks, which is a couple hours of rehearsal time and maybe longer for adult cast, it's roughly about 20, 22 hours and then we hit the stage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I produce the show. I produce the lights. I draft up the program and their bios. They write their bios. I backstage manage. I come up with all the costumes. You know, we're family owned. It's basically me that runs it. I have a few assistants, young people. I have an older lady that works for me, volunteers her time. Her name is Nancy Nelson, and she's 80 years old. So yeah, so it's wonderful. So it's like fast. Like one of our adult cast members over the weekend said, it's like being shot out of a cannon.
Yes, that is a fast time. Yeah, but and then how long do the shows normally run for?
So because I have 150, well, that is this show. I have 4 weekends. 3 of those weekends I have 6 shows each, and then the last weekend is 3. So it's 24 shows in like a month, and then I start the process all over again. Yeah.
Well, and Costa Mesa is a city that prides itself on the arts. So, you know, obviously we've got the Broadway productions.
So we do junior Broadway productions, and I stick with the classics like Sound of Music, Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, Peter Pan. You know, Willy Wonka is one of them, and sometimes I insert, you know, a new one.
Yeah.
And I have some young adults who I've given opportunities to direct and produce. And some of them have been very young, like they've been around 16 years old when they started doing that. And I give them that opportunity. I don't know anybody else that probably does that. Yeah. So they tend to focus on plays, and sometimes they're kind of obscure plays. So it's really great because like we've done The Hobbit, those directors, those young directors, The Realm, Peter and the Starcatcher. We're getting ready to do Little Women this summer. Great. So these are all done by other people. Yeah.
That is a really good opportunity. I know, personally, I grew up on the East Coast, but I was always very involved. I did drama as like a major in high school, and I was always in the plays when I was growing up in middle school. And it was such a great extracurricullar activity. Yeah. But having that exposure to the arts is, for me, it was fantastic. I loved it.
I think that's great. I think there's been a resurgence of the arts. You know, for a while there, I think, you know, there was a lot of cutting on spending by the districts and stuff like that. But now a lot of my kids who get training here, and I try to teach them as much as I can to be little professionals. So I'm really I'm particular about that. You know, it is a teaching theater, but we try to put on a quality production with the limits that we have. But they'll go from here and they'll be in school productions, and they're doing both at the same time.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And it's crazy. I teach them how to know where their props are. They're responsible for their blocking. They need to be where they're supposed to be on stage. Of course, memorization and, you know, songs and all of that, choreography, and costume changes. They handle those kinds of things. And they learn so much here. It's life lessons, you know. Yeah. They make friends. I toe the line. You know, I'm like, guys, you got to get your lines memorized. I don't mess around. Yeah. You know, and a lot of parents like that because I'm a little bit old school, you know, and they like the discipline of it. And kids either thrive or, you know, maybe they don't. And so they move on or they come back later. And, but we take 6-year-olds to 17 in our kid team combined cast.
Yeah. Yes. So that's a great age range. And even at a young age, like it's good for memorization. It's good for social skills. Yes. It's good for
getting up in front of kids at school.
Oh yeah.
You know,
public speaking,
giving reports and stuff like that. I've been blessed and privileged to see so many kids get on the stage in an audition where they were crying and melting and falling apart. And I helped them.
Yeah.
You know, and now fast forward a few years, they are so bold on stage and so just a character, and it is awesome.
Yeah.
I get to see that, you know? Yeah.
So you mentioned a little bit about your background and how you had family members that kind of led you into the arts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a pastor's wife too.
Oh, okay.
My husband is pastor of Voyage Calvary Chapel, and I lead worship at my church.
So you're not
I've done vacation Bible school and all that stuff, and it's great. It's such a wonderful place. I have not ever printed a business card. That's just because I never got time. It feels like it's so easy to make them and order them online, but. Yeah, I never did that. And it's pretty much been word of mouth.
That's such an amazing success.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It really, truly is. Yeah. And my schedule is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday afternoons are the kid team rehearsals. Tuesday nights are adult cast, and Thursday nights are teen cast. And then when I'm not in show mode, then I work during the day from home, and then I'm here in the evenings.
Yeah.
Those evenings I mentioned, in the afternoons, I have Monday off and Friday off, and Saturdays, Sunday church. But when we're doing shows, I'm pretty much here all the time. I should just sleep here. There's a couch in the back.
I'm sure on the weekends when you've got multiple programs going, you never really get canceled.
Yeah.
So.
And there's a matinee and an evening show, and it's like a couple hours turnaround time.
Yeah. And then, so does that word of mouth extend to the people that come to watch the plays too then?
Yeah, so, I mean, it's
Are
amazing.
you like a full house most of the time?
For kid teen cast, definitely.
Yeah.
We don't have enough seats. For adults and teens, they're a little less just because, I think everyone comes out to see kids, like grandparents, neighbors, people that you work with. They just love all those little kids.
Yeah.
So, but I'll tell you what, this weekend we had a couple of professionals in our production this weekend in adult cast too. And they brought, for instance, 30 people in the audience just to see them.
Yeah.
So we had a couple of good houses in here. We had 60 and over 50. So that was
impressive.
That was pretty good.
It's more than movie theaters are getting.
I know. We just, I should advertise more, but I'm a little bit afraid because I have so many that come, just my increase for Willy Wonka from the previous productions, which had been pretty consistent numbers. That went from 120 to 150.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So that was a big jump.
What do the play tickets normally run?
So we had, I used to do everything by hand in a book. I used to take reservations in a book, and then people would cancel them and erase their name and put new names.
Yeah,
So I went a few productions ago. I went online. So that was the best decision I ever made.
Yeah.
And now my seats are labeled, as you can see. They have a label, and so everyone comes in. I used to have a line out the door because my seats were just first come, first serve.
Sure.
And everybody would try to get in the front of the line to sit in the front seat. Well, I eliminated that, and now my first 2 rows are premium seats.
Okay, this is so cool. So good for you. Yeah. And that's how they pay when you go to the theater.
That's right. Premium seats. No more fighting over those. Yeah. So if they want to get those, my ticket sales go online on a Monday morning at 8 a.m. And they have to be there to get those front seats.
Sure.
And they're $20.
Okay.
And then the rest of my seats are $17.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
And they're reasonable.
Yeah. And there's not a bad seat in the house. I mean, come on, we're so small.
No, it's so small.
Yeah.
It's an intimate setting.
Yeah, we have a snack bar over here, which is filled with lots of candy and popcorn machine and sodas and bubbly, like the seltzer waters and all kinds of things. And so this is our rehearsal space. And then we have the Edison lights that come on and the stage lights and then the costumes. It just really changes everything.
Yeah.
And everybody comes in here smelling popcorn like Disneyland or the movie theater. My favorite, buttery popcorn, right? And a cherry Coke. And so we love it. We sell chocolate chip cookies. We're selling Wonka bars for Wonka with a golden ticket in every few Wonka bars. And the little kids this weekend that were in the audience, they opened their Wonka bar. I got a golden ticket. They're so exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love what I do. I'm just very, very, very blessed and privileged, and I'll do it as long as I can.
Yeah.
And I hope I have some more years, but I'm training them all up. And so who knows one day what I hope Starlight Theater will continue to go on, and maybe somebody will be able to turn it over to them.
Yeah. So just kind of circling back around, this is the Costa Mesa podcast, and obviously Starlight Theater OC, you service, I'm assuming most of the people that are attending and on stage are probably Orange County.
Yes, mostly. Definitely.
Do you find, obviously you're open to other areas aside from Costa Mesa?
Of course.
How does it fit, would you say, into the culture of Costa Mesa?
Well, Costa Mesa has a performing arts emphasis. So I love that. There's lots of things going on down the street. What is that called?
Or
Cedar Strim, of course. That one section down there that's kind of funky and has a lot of
the lab,
all of that. That's just down the street.
Yeah,
so I think there's a lot of culture here, and our kids go. Kids were going to Pantages and Segerstrom, see the Lion King this weekend, and things like that, and Wicked, and all of those things. So yeah, definitely, I think it just feeds right into the amazing culture that's happening in Costa Mesa.
Yes, there is a lot. It is. I feel like it's a melting pot. And I also just wanted to touch on something we spoke about before we started recording, but you mentioned how flexible you are kind of with the students and everything, because obviously it's a lot of work that goes into putting these productions on. But we all know so many children and teens have so many extracurriculars going on. Yeah. So how do you make it work so that they have that opportunity to experience it all?
Yeah. So parents who've been with me a while, or even maybe new parents, they're amazed at what I offer, because the teen cast, that's the main one. They meet on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday afternoons. And when they are cast in a show, I don't say Tuesday cast A is going to rehearse, Wednesday cast B is going to rehearse. So I don't do that. I don't structure it that way. I allow them to choose what day to rehearse, which is kind of more work for me. But what it means is that there may be 3 Willy Wonkas here on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And maybe, 4 Veruca salts, or something. And maybe not so many of those on another rehearsal day, because I let them choose other activities so that they're involved in. And parents just rave about that. They just say, I can't believe you did it. Because that means that I'm getting on the stage in rehearsal and being Willy Wonka if I have to be, but I am an actor.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that this is my opinion. I think that you need to be an actor first before you can become a director producer. Mm-hmm. So that's the way I see it. And I've been gifted with creativity and being able to come up with things and seeing things. I can see things and have a visualization of them in my mind. So, that's why I do that, because I'm really wanting kids who really want to be in theater have so many other things going on, and other theaters wouldn't maybe accommodate that. Plus, since they only do like one cast, they're really limited, the kids, on getting opportunities for the lead roles.
Yeah.
And here they get those opportunities. Older ones especially. Younger ones have to maybe spend a little more time here. I'm not going to give a 6-year-old a Willy Wonka unless I would say somebody would have to be really fabulous and blow my socks off, in auditions.
I think it's so great though, because, sometimes if it's too limiting and only like the same couple of kids get the lead roles, then it will discourage others from even sticking with the field, and maybe they don't have that chance to see it in themselves. But you can see it, and you're giving them all that opportunity.
So I try to be really fair.
Yeah. I know. I'm sure that's hard.
It is very hard. I hate breaking the hearts of the kids. I love them all so much, and I just love when I see them thrive and sparkle and shine. But these are life lessons, and that's kind of the way I learned a lot of life lessons. I auditioned for Annie, the role of Annie, in my high school production, and it was between me and another girl, and it was not given to me. And I tell that story all the time with kids. I tell them, you work hard. If you didn't get the part, you can very likely get it if you just keep working and keep proving to me that you can handle it, you can mature, you can be responsible. Sometimes it takes kids longer to mature. Some kids have all that when they're young. They can just be in front of people. They can handle it all. But others take some time. And that's okay. Everybody goes at a different pace. But then my kids who've been here a while, they love being in lots of the casts, because they get to be an Oompa Loompa and do all the fun little things in the ensemble versus a role. And they may get that in another cast. But they come and they do it all. They're here all the time. My audition process is different than other places. Everybody's used to providing headshots, preparing a monologue, preparing a song. I don't do any of that. They come here and all they have to do is fill out the audition sheet. They show up. They just come up on stage in a group of, 8 or so. Well, they sit in chairs first. I teach them a song. Usually it's a song from the show that's coming up, a little snippet of a song. And we sing it. And then I'm like, okay, are you ready? Come up on the stage. Then they get a chance to sing a solo or with somebody. And I can tell, I have enough experience that I can tell a lot about, their potential.
Mm-hmm.
I was also a music major and in college.
Okay.
And, so I have a lot of experience.
In your blood and your background.
Yeah, I have a lot of skill and knowledge. And my parents were both in show business.
Oh,
I didn't even tell you that part.
What did they do?
Yeah, my dad was in film and he was on stage. He was a singer. He was a tap dancer. My mother was also a dancer. Mainly, she traveled around the world.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they're in my little case over here. Yeah. So I
very
think
artistic
upbringing.
Yeah.
I think it's in my blood.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
So you got Willy Wonka going on to the end of March, and then anything for the summer, whatever.
So March 19th and 20th are our auditions for Beauty and the Beast.
Oh.
And so you can go onto my website, www.Starlight Theater. It's TheaterEOC.com. Like the theater version of theater.
Yes, the authentic way to spell it. Yeah.
And then you can get all that info on there. And then following that is Music Man.
Okay, cool.
And we do that for teens in the form of summer camps. They're 2 weeks.
Okay.
Versus the 8-9 weeks they come during the day for a few more hours, Monday through Thursday. Anyway, that will also be on my website. You can also email me at starlighttheateroc@yahoo.com. And
And you guys have like Facebook or Instagram or anything?
Yeah, I do. I'm going to admit I'm a little bit slow about it. I don't post as much as I probably should, but that's just because truly I haven't needed to. So, I've marketed myself a bit, but it's mostly people that come and see it and they're like, I want to be in this. Adults and kids and teens, like, I want to be in this. And then, word of mouth, other kids bringing their friends.
Yeah.
But I will say this, we had a family from Yorba Linda, this happens from time to time, who came just because they found me online to see Willy Wonka. They said they go to theaters, they try to, support them. Yeah. And they came this weekend to see it.
Aww.
I thought that was awesome.
And it's so nice when people feel like they can, because it's a more intimate setting, they can share that with you. You hear that feedback.
Yeah, it's so cool. So come out. Please come out and audition for Beauty and the Beast. That's a fun show. Such great ensemble parts and songs for the leads. Wow, it's just a great show. Wonderful story. And then Music Man is one of our favorites around here. A classic, and everybody loves it. Kids, it's not like a Disney.
Yeah.
But once they do it, it becomes one of their favorites, and they all talk about it around here. So
yeah. Well, that's all so exciting.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for all you do and for supporting the community and keeping the arts alive in Costa Mesa.
You are so welcome. I hope to be around for a while.
I'm sure you will be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.